Welcome, everybody, to another edition of The Table Spot. My name is Metal Mike, and I'm joined here, as always, with the man with the best beard in the business. He's my co-host here every Monday night, the host of The Boom, over on the Boom PW Pod on Twitch and YouTube, Mr. Cam G. Cam, how you doing on this wonderful Monday night?
I'm doing great, man. Not a bad Monday. Currently on this particular program, talking about some SummerSlam predictions. At the same time, I'm watching Monday Night Raw at the same time. So, yeah, my attention is kind of split in between the two, but I am definitely here for our predictions for sure.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I figured, hey, it's the go-home show for Monday Night Raw tonight. There's not much more they're going to add to this SummerSlam card. And we are doing SummerSlam predictions tonight. I figured, why not just cast our attention fully to this weekend? Yeah. Saturday, August 1st, Sunday, August 2nd, SummerSlam happening out in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And it's set to be a big show. And a lot of good. I was looking over the card last night, and I'll be honest, like, I didn't know the full out card until I fully looked at the card last night. I was like, man, this should be a good SummerSlam. Like, they really set this card up to look good.
I think so. I think so too. Just the way they laid it out.
We gotta hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, because we kind of skipped a pay-per-view last night with both of us feeling the way that we did, and hopefully it's not 2 weekends in a row to where there's a not so good pay-per-view on. So I mean, they call it PLEs, but yeah, we are here to talk about SummerSlam. And before we get into that, please make sure that you are heading over to the Table Spot PW Pod. If you're watching on Twitch, go to YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go to Twitch and hit that follow button on the YouTube. Hit the subscribe. Make sure you're heading over to the Boom PW Pod as well on Twitch and on YouTube, hitting that follow and subscribe button, as me and Cam are live here every Monday night, normally after Monday Night Raw, talking about the show after the show, and on Wednesday nights after AEW Dynamite on the Boom with Phil, talking about the show after the show. Let's get into it. SummerSlam happening this weekend. Now, the nights are not split, so we are going to kind of just talk about this show in an entirety.
Where I'm looking at it on Wikipedia, it's set.
Did they split? Oh, they
6
did.
matches for night 1, 6 matches for night 2.
Well, hey, let me you know what? Let's just run it down. Let's just run it down. I mean, we'll just run down the matches, because honestly, they must have just did that, because when I set this up last night,
I think they just did it this afternoon.
Yeah. So we'll just run down the full card in its entirety. Because well, I don't know.
I always just look at the match card on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I mean that's the I kind of want to do this the right way and not seem so messy. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll run down Saturday night first. I mean, I have the scroll on the bottom with all the matches on it. So that's just a full thing. They did it this afternoon. I obviously didn't know that they did it this afternoon, or else I would have fixed that as well. But the match card is rolling on the bottom. Let's start off with night 1, August 1st, Saturday night, Cam. And let's kick off with talking about the first match on the card, and that is Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Heavyweight Championship against the Queen of the Ring, Io Sky. Io Sky earning this championship match by winning the Queen of the Ring, and immediately, right after winning the Queen of the Ring, announced that she was picking Liv Morgan to challenge for the Women's World Championship. I mean, Cam, I guess the big question is and we know Rhea Ripley, the injury. We're going to talk about the WWE Women's Championship ladder match in a few minutes, but could you really look at it too as Io Sky knows she has Liv Morgan's number, so maybe it'd be almost like a grand slam for Io Sky? Or what? Your thoughts on this match? What are your thoughts on Io Sky and Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, this match, we already know that Liv should not have gone as far as she did with the women's Queen of the Ring. As far as she did, it just didn't make sense. But they've got a lot of major injuries right now. One of them being Stephanie Vicare. Still really not any word on whether or not. I think I did hear she was cleared and she will be back in time. She might even show up during the course of this match. I don't know. But Liv Morgan is cursed. She's been cursed at least 2 or 3 times now by Danhausen. So I think that's kind of a dead giveaway. You have to keep that alive for Danhausen.
Yes.
And because that's just his whole thing. That's just his whole shtick. In terms of Liv Morgan, a lot of fans right now are kind of up in arms with Liv Morgan and what she has done, or what lack thereof she has done with the championship, and the run that she's had so far since WrestleMania. I think this was my fear for Liv Morgan. She has now had 2 world championship reigns, and neither one of them have really got me out of my seat or gotten me all that really excited. I could say this thing about Io Sky. I think there were certain circumstances with Io Sky as well. But I think this is the time for her to drop the championship. I mean, you can continue the feud with her and Stephanie Vercaer outside of the Women's World Championship, have implications that whoever wins that can go on and face Io Sky. That's fine and dandy or whatever. But this company, I think, with both title scenes, with the WWE Women's Championship scene with Rhea and with this championship scene with injuries, you have to be able to know how to pivot and transition and focus on something else rather than going stagnant with your current champions and then really having no plans. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket with one plan, because you have to understand, of course, this is professional wrestling. Injuries happen, right? So when those injuries happen, and you don't have a backup plan, because all your eggs are in one basket. You were backing that one superstar. So I think that's a major problem right now with just both women's championship scenes right now. But I would have to go with Io Sky to win this. That just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
And then move on from there. And then, like I said, hopefully she has this now being her 3rd reign. I would hope that they have something planned for her. And if they don't, transition into something else. Be adaptive to the environment and to the reality that, certain people that she could be in a program with could get injured. You have to transition to something else. So let's hope they got something planned and they can adapt.
I think they also have some prime real estate to give us something good heading into the fall and the winter time, maybe even on the road to the Royal Rumble in January. I know that's kind of thinking a little ahead because we're only in August, Rumble's in January, but I'm not necessarily saying that they could make my specific thought go into January. It can obviously happen sooner, and that is one Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley out with an injury right now. Had to vacate the women's WWE Championship. It's in a ladder match this weekend. Io Sky has always had that one up on Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has never beaten Io Sky. Io Sky walks out of SummerSlam as the women's world champion, and the timing's right. Rhea Ripley comes back. We can get Rhea Io for that world title. I mean, Io's already beat her once for a world title. For Rhea to come back from an injury to never have that win over Io Sky and one up it and do it for a world championship would be huge. Because if I'm not wrong, Io Sky also beat her for the NXT championship. Am I correct on that?
I believe so.
Okay. So Io has to at some point, or Rhea has to at some point get that opportunity to do it to Io. So there is a prime opportunity right now for them that if Rhea comes back in time to reignite that program with Io and Rhea, say their names 5 times fast together, and give us something special, because we know those two can give us something special. So, and I could see Io Sky definitely walking out of SummerSlam as the new women's world champion. And like you said, Stephanie Vercaer, she's out there. She's taken some time off since WrestleMania with her injury and just getting better and everything like that. So see what happens. But number one, they got to get through SummerSlam. And I think Io Sky will walk out as the women's world champion as well. And maybe, just maybe, we start to see some of the crumbling cracks in the Judgment Day falling apart before we get to 2027. Because let's face it, the Judgment Day at this point is just done. It's done. It seems like everybody's starting to kind of go their own directions. They try and keep them together as much as they can. And this could be a starting focal point to start pulling that group apart. And that would be by Liv Morgan losing the Women's World Championship. So I got to go Io Sky on Saturday as well. Next matchup to talk about. Let's talk about the 6-man tag team match. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys in a oddball tag team taking on the bloodline of Jacob, Fatu, Jay, and Jimmy Uso. I mean, we've seen it. LA Knight, him and Royce Keys didn't seem to have a problem coming together, but it's been Solo Sikoa that's been the odd man out. LA Knight thinking Solo Sikoa is going to have the back of the bloodline at the end of the day. And Solo's been trying to prove to LA Knight, like, no, look, I have a problem with them. You've seen what they've done in the past. You've seen the problems I had with them in the past. We need to take care of this before it gets worse. And finally happens to where LA Knight accepts Solo Sikoa to be their tag team partner on Saturday against the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Cam, your thoughts on this matchup and who's winning?
Well, the one person that I really don't trust in this entire scenario is obviously Solo Sikoa. I understand now that they're trying to push him as a baby face and he's on his own. He's focused on, wanting to take down or get revenge on the bloodline, this and that. I'm still not buying it. Like, I really do think at least probably by the end of the year, he's going to eventually fall in line. Like, I think we have to get, or I guess for the sake of the, not really need or have to get, but I think for the sake of the story probably needs another match, one-on-one between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And I see that if we go that route, it's probably going to play out the same way as him and Jacob Fatu. Probably get a string of 2 matches. The second match being probably tribal combat. If he loses, he has to fall in line. So I could see us going that route. Because what else is Jacob Fatu, or not Jacob Fatu? What else is Solo Sikoa going to do on his own? Really, I just don't see it. I'm not buying into him on his own, and I'm not buying into the whole babyface thing. I think he's going to play a major factor into the 6-man tag come SummerSlam, and I think he could possibly be the reason that this team loses. I think he's going to get a big head. I think he's going to be a big ego. He wants to be the guy to get the pinfall and just be like the savior or the one that takes down the bloodline, yada, yada, yada. So I think he's going to end up being the reason that they have some sort of miscommunication probably between him and namely LA Knight, who has been pretty much on, he's been on a tear lately. I mean, on the mic, he's on fire. He's basically untouchable. His booking has been a little bit odd here as of late. It's just kind of 50-50. One week he looks great, he wins. Next week he's losing a match that he probably has no business losing. So I think this is going to help him, hopefully, and further that frustration of not being able to get into the upper card and the main event scene, again, get back into the chase for chasing the World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm taking the Bloodline to win this match due to, like I said, a miscommunication between probably Solo Sikoa and LA Knight. Yeah,
I'm going Bloodline as well. I've been saying it for the better part of almost a year of, I think the Bloodline's going to come back together. Solo Sikoa at some point is going to fall in line. And this seems like that's going to be the perfect time. Right here at SummerSlam, if not Monday Night Raw on August 3rd, where he falls in line. Does something at SummerSlam, but then we see Solo join with the Bloodline on the next night on Monday Night Raw. I can agree Solo's going to do something to cost this team the match. And it's going to beat LA Knight because LA Knight has been the one that's kind of doubted him this whole time and kind of snubbed him. Now it's okay. Now you're accepting me because you don't have anybody else. Bring him in. So I think Solo does something to cause this match and cause the Bloodline to win, falls in line on Monday night on Raw. And that would complete the Bloodline because they would have all their members. We wouldn't have to worry about an oddball member coming in like Sami Zayn. And I know Sami Zayn, he pretty much put himself in a position of success being with the Bloodline. And Roman, he's on record to say that he felt he can feed off of Sami Zayn being in the Bloodline, so it worked, all that stuff. No, we're not going to get any of that. This is going to be the complete version of Bloodline 2.0 with Solo and Jacob, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. And they don't need a mouthpiece. They don't need a mouthpiece. As much as I was even thinking maybe Paul Heyman comes back, I don't think they need it. These guys have put themselves in a position to where they don't need somebody to be their mouthpiece. Roman can talk. Jacob can talk. The Usos can talk. Solo, he's okay with talking. I think they'll be fine. And he is. I mean, Solo's not the best on the microphone. I mean, even Jacob's not the best on the microphone, but
he's just the funny guy because he likes mocking.
He is.
So
Yeah, he is. You're not wrong on that. Let's talk about the 6-woman tag match. The Bellas, Nikki and Brie, and Paige taking on Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Laney Reed, and Fallon Henley. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know too much about this story because, number one, I don't watch SmackDown. I'm not home on time to really watch SmackDown. And by the time I would be watching SmackDown, I look on the internet and I kind of see what happens. This storyline I really didn't follow too much. I'm just going to say I'm taking the Bellas and Paige to win this match. That's my thought. But Cam, your thoughts?
Yeah, so a little bit of backstory on Fatal Influence, since you don't know. Recent call-ups from NXT, very big heel tag team or heel faction down there. They came up and they really got like real like heel heat on SmackDown. So they've been on fire ever since then. Not really much to this storyline. Fatal Influence recently winning the women's tag team championships this past Saturday night's main event. And then I believe Nikki just coming back from her injury finally. So now we got the Bella Twins back. I honestly do believe this is probably the end of the Bella Twins and Paige. It doesn't make any sense anymore. I mean, Paige was just to stand in for Nikki because Nikki was hurt at WrestleMania. They went on a very stagnant run, if you wouldn't even want to call it that, with the women's tag team titles. So I'm honestly going with Fatal Influence to win here. Give them even more fire behind that heel heat that they've got going right now. I think they're going to be a massive heel faction on SmackDown if they're not already. And then I think the Bella Twins turn on Paige. I'm gonna be honest with you because
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, partnership is over. Put Paige on her own. She doesn't need the Bella Twins. If I'm not mistaken, the last time she was with this company, she hated the Bella Twins. So the partnership that makes absolutely no sense anymore. So yeah, I'm thinking that the Bella Twins turn on Paige, and then maybe we have a feud there. Paige finds another partner of her choosing or whatnot. Maybe AJ Lee. I think that'd be great. AJ Lee comes back to the fold. They're really good friends. Paige and AJ Lee.
That would be fitting.
This is the Bella Twins, a feud. So I could see that, maybe going into like Survivor Series or something like that. So I could see that for sure. Or even Women's War Games. Maybe that. I don't know. But yeah, I'm taking Fatal Influence to win this match.
I was thinking either the Bella Twins turn on Paige or Paige joins Fatal Influence and they just turn on the Bellas. If I'm not wrong on this, before Paige teamed up with Brie, Nikki and Brie were kind of leaning towards the heel tag team going into WrestleMania, and then Nikki got hurt. So, and then you bring Paige back. Everybody loves it. Paige comes back, return. We love Paige. There she goes.
It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah,
because that whole thing with that multiple women tag match at WrestleMania, was just kind of rushed. So it was like it's hard to really tell who's heel, who's babyface, unless they make it like blatantly obvious. You know what I mean?
But what I mean by is if you go back and watch when Nikki and Brie came back, you kind of seen them leaning towards the heel thing a little bit before Nikki got hurt. And then Nikki got hurt and they needed a tag partner for WrestleMania and Paige, and then they just swept off,
ran with it,
possibly going that way. And they just stuck with going baby. So I'll be honest. I mean, I'm excited. I haven't seen too much of Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Laney Reed, or Fallon Henley. Haven't seen much of them. Again, I don't watch NXT. So this is kind of a new realm for me to watch them. So I'm not going to lie. A lot of people may not be excited for this 6-woman tag match. I kind of am, because I want to see what the future is for this women's division. And they are the future. They are part of the future of this women's division. So I'm kind of excited for the 6-women's tag match to see what they're all about. I am. So we've been having some issues between Gunther and Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis, the now former SmackDown general manager, as Adam Pearce has taken over the reins for both Raw and SmackDown, with Nick Aldis being put on a suspension because of his problems with Gunther. And Gunther has challenged Nick Aldis all across the board with his professionalism, with him being a wrestler, saying that he's a failure of a wrestler. Mind you, Gunther, he is a former National Wrestling Alliance champion and one of the longest NWA champions that in the modern era. So there's that with Nick Aldis. But Nick Aldis and Gunther, this match finally being official. Cam, I can't say this enough. I've been looking forward to the in-ring return of Nick Aldis for the past 2 years now. And we are finally getting it. And it's against Gunther. Cam, your thoughts on this match? Are you excited for it? And who do you got winning?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. I think this could potentially be the sleeper for night one. Just a build up to it. I mean, you kind of seen it coming. It was just like, how much more can Nick Aldis really take as the general manager being pushed around by the new big bad bully on the block on SmackDown, Gunther? So before he just like, okay, you do realize like I'm not just a general manager. Like I can lace the boots back up, So I think a lot of us have been waiting for that ever since he came to this company. We were just like, okay, is he going to do more? Is he just a general manager? Is he going to get in the ring? There's so many different matchups that we have not seen with Nick Aldis. Since not being competing since coming into the WWE. So this is very exciting just to see him come back to the fold, I think. Yeah, like I said, I think this potentially could be the Steeler for night one. In terms of who I'm going with, I'm gonna say Gunther, only because I really don't know what else is in store for Nick Aldis in terms of his in-ring for to be part of the active roster for WWE. And Gunther right now, he really just needs something. I think he has really just kind of fallen off the wagon as opposed to what he once was. The ring general and the career killer, and it's a few, maybe several steps back to what he once was. So he needs something to keep him I don't know, just it's somewhat on the right path. And then like I said, we can figure out what is in store, what is next for Nick Aldis. But I'm expecting a like old school, as JR would put it, slobber knocker with these two, where it's not flips, it's just fists, So I'm expecting that for sure. But I got to go with Gunther.
I'm kind of torn in this match because it's the first time we're seeing Nick Aldis in the ring in nearly 3 years. Ever since he lost the NWA Championship, he's kind of went on an in-ring hiatus. Then he comes back to WWE and he's in this role of general manager. What are we going to get from Nick Aldis? And it's obvious he's had to have been training. He's had to have been taking bumps. Like, there's no way he's going in there, freshly taking bumps in the middle of the match. That's not happening. Yeah. So it's obvious Nick Aldis had to have been training. So as far as ring rust, could there be some? Maybe. Gunther is a seasoned vet by now.
Yes.
So I guess it comes down to who does this benefit more? And it has to benefit Gunther. Back about a year ago, maybe a little less, we were sitting here talking about what is Gunther without a championship? What is Gunther without a championship? And then he becomes this career killer. Okay, what is Gunther without a championship and facing legends who are about out the door? Could this be Gunther's first true test against somebody where we don't know after Saturday what his opponent's future is? Could Nick Aldis continue his in-ring? Will Nick Aldis be done? There's a 50-50. So I think this could be Gunther's first true test with an in-ring opponent that we don't know the outcome after SummerSlam. Now, there is one match that I would have really hoped to see in WWE, and that was, and I've been asking for this since Nick Aldis arrived, and that was Nick Aldis against Cody Rhodes. I mean, they're all in match.
Yeah.
They're all in match back in 2018, 2019 was freaking amazing. So why would I not want to see that on a big stage in WWE? That's why I'm hoping this ain't it for Nick Aldis. I hope he gets back into that ring and we can get a build up to him and Cody at some point.
I don't see why not.
But I think this match does benefit Gunther more. I think it does, because this is his first true test of in-ring competition, to where there's really nothing but pure hatred for each other in that ring. There's no championships, no careers, no nothing on the line. Just these guys fucking hate each other. and they want to tear each other's throats out.
Yeah.
So Hell in a Cell is happening on Saturday. Femi, Brock Lesnar 3. Femi wins the first match at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar wins match number 2, and we are now at match number 3. And it's inside Hell in a Cell. Tonight they're doing a weigh-in on Monday Night Raw. So if you're watching Monday Night Raw, that's actually happening tonight. But Cam, what are you expecting from Hell in a Cell, Femi, Brock Lesnar on Saturday, SummerSlam?
First of all, yeah, the weigh-in was what kicked off the show tonight. A lot of people are highly critical of them going back to weigh-ins. It was odd. It was strange. They did a weigh-in. Well, I don't know if it ever really took place because it was supposed to inside the cell, which is weird. And then Brock came out, locked the cell door, and it just, I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird thing that would happen. So I guess the weigh-in never technically took place. All can be forgiven after they took probably a couple steps back with what they did tonight. If they produce a banger, which it's set up to be a banger. It looks like a banger on paper. When they announced it inside of the Hell in a Cell, their biggest match, the third match, the big blow off, it looks like a banger. So, and again, I've talked in length about this. This has to be their longest match. I'm not expecting this match to go 30 minutes. Brock will be beat purple by the time 30 minutes happens. We don't need to see that. We don't need to have it happen. But give me at least like 10 minutes, 30 seconds. At least give me a solid 10 minutes. You know, these two titans just destroying each other. You know, big spots here and there. You know, inside the cell, outside the cell, whatnot have you. And then I'll probably be satisfied. Honestly, I'm not expecting anything major in terms of that. In terms of predictions, this is a no-brainer. This has to be Oba closing the chapter on the Brock Lesnar feud, closing the book on that and moving on to something else. Still has a world championship implication in his back pocket at his choosing now after winning King of the Ring. So, it has to be Femi. I mean, there's just no other option. I don't want to see that. God forbid, I don't want to see this end in a DQ. We saw that once. We don't need to see that happen again. That's ridiculous. It's Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar win. He gains nothing from this. Now, speaking of Brock Lesnar, this being in Minnesota, right? And I don't think anybody else has talked about this. That's why I have to bring this up while I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm expecting him to get probably one of the biggest pops of the night, if not the biggest pop of the night, right?
Definitely.
The reaction to Femi, I'm expecting him to get booed out of the building.
Wow.
I could be wrong. But I'm looking at Oba going into this match as the odds-on heel.
Okay.
And I think that would be amazing.
Intrigue me. What gave you this thought?
It's just because they love Brock. It's not because they hate Oba.
So it's just straight up loving Brock. It's his hometown.
They just love Brock. Plain and simple. Not because they hate Oba. It's just because they love Brock more.
I mean, hey, you go back in history to some of the biggest baby faces going into even just championship matches. John Cena gets booed out of, New York at ECW One Night Stand against Rob Van Dam. Cody Rhodes, he's gotten booed at WrestleMania against Roman. Like we've gotten so many big baby faces get booed out of buildings because they love the other person, regardless of whether they're heel or baby face. So you know what? I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you. I'm not going to argue that point with you because it could happen. It could happen. And with how big Oba is, holy shit, that would be like shock of the weekend. Wild. Like, that'd be nuts. And especially with the reaction Oba's been getting, not like all around the world of pro wrestling. Dude, I go to a house show a week and a half ago and everybody's up doing his strut. And I'm like, man, this guy is so fucking over. Yeah. Like, man, like the whole arena, it was a sold out show, 10,000 people in the arena and everybody's up doing the strut. And I'm like, man, this guy is so fucking over.
Yeah.
To see 50, 60,000 people booing the shit out of him inside US Bank Stadium. Oh, And I can't argue with you on it. Like, it can happen. But does it catch a reflection? Like, does it reflect back on him long term, though? Do you think?
No,
Or do you think come Monday night, things will go back to reset and Oba will be one of the most beloved guys on the roster right now?
Yeah, no, he again, you just said it. He's so over that doesn't just extinguish after one night.
Okay.
Certain wrestlers get different reactions depending on where they're at. I can name a few people. CM Punk is one of them. During all that controversy with AEW, the amount of noise that he would generate, boos and cheers at the same time, was wild to me. Because it's like he's over either way you look at it.
Yep.
Whether you hate him or you love him, he's over. He gets a reaction. And I always talk about that. I always bring that up. A reaction is better than no reaction. So I don't think it reflects. Even MJF. MJF is another great point. When they're in Long Island,
he gets cheered.
He's like the superhero, right?
Oh yeah.
And he's playing
definitely.
the babyface. They go back to freaking Columbus the next week and they hate him again.
Yeah.
So that's the same effect I see with Oba.
I mean, to be fair, MJF, and this ain't AEW talk, I'm just saying MJF as of late has been getting a lot of cheers in the arenas more than boos, because people
they love to hate him. So
yeah, I mean, he's the best world champion in professional wrestling today, even though he's not a world champion right now. I mean, the guy is a fucking gem. AEW should feel honored and lucky to have him on their fucking roster right now.
Exactly.
Because if he went to WWE, I'll say this right now. If MJF went to WWE, I honestly don't think he would get censored too much. It seems like Triple H is starting to let the guys and girls kind of do their thing. Yeah. So I think he would have some of the freedoms. He would just have to watch, because like on national television, he'll drop an F-bomb, but they bleep it out. In WWE, I think that's something that he would have to watch. But other stuff that he says, I think Triple H would definitely let him get away with it. At this point,
Vince era, it would have been heavily censored.
No doubt. MJF wouldn't even be MJF. He would have a different fucking name. He would have 3 different syllables, like ABC or something like that. And we'd be sitting and figuring out, what does the ABC mean? Because his name's not, Alex or anything.
It's a mystery.
Yeah. Just like the Royce Keys thing. Like now the Royce Keys thing kind of throws me off, because I'm like, okay, they changed his name.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wish they didn't, because his name was already pretty badass. So
they should have kept at least something from that name.
They should have
not completely changed it from top to bottom.
I agree. But we'll have to see, man. That really, dude, you turned the light bulb on, man. And it could happen. It could happen. I don't see. I see it being a possibility. So we'll have to keep an eye on that Saturday night, see if he gets booed out of US Bank Stadium or not, and see if Brock ends up getting the hometown love. So Main event for Saturday is the Undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk comes back 11 days after Sami Zayn wins the championship, and he beats Sami Zayn in his hometown for it. Cody Rhodes was supposed to get a shot that night, but ends up getting attacked by Gunther. Cody Rhodes gets told that he will have the shot at SummerSlam. So we are getting CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Undisputed WWE Championship. It was kind of teased after WrestleMania, pretty much the night after WrestleMania, Sunday, on Monday Night Raw, that CM Punk said, hey, there's more other championships I can go after. And that was the time Cody was the champion. Kind of set the prelude for this to happen. And now it's officially happening. Cody, Punk, WWE Championship, main event on SummerSlam Saturday. Cam, your thoughts and who you going with?
I think this could be the best match on this card. The reason being is because the history at one point, like I said, they both have history with both being in with AEW at one point. They've kind of sort of been on the same path, so to speak, with again being with the company, then being out of business entirely, one being out of the company, starting up a new, rival company, things like that. And then both, basically achieving their dreams in terms of winning championship gold. So I think just because of the relationship and just how well they know each other, I think this could be very good, because I really don't think that with these two guys and knowing the relationship that they have, they would produce something bad. They would produce a stinker. I just don't think so. So I really think this is going to be this is going to play out really, really well, and I think it's going to be a fantastic match. In terms of it's a split with me with this 50-50 because of who I want to win and who I think is going to win. Who I want to win, obviously being a massive CM Punk fan, I would want it to be CM Punk, and then potentially pick back up CM Punk and Sami Zayn, and that be the championship feud moving forward. And then you move Cody onto something else because, like, again, I've made this statement a few times, several times at this point, that Cody doesn't need the championship to be the face of the brand. He doesn't need the championship to be the face of the company, for that matter. And I'm very curious as to what he is. I don't care, heel, babyface, tweener, whatever. I'm curious to see what he is without championship gold. Who is Cody Rhodes? Like, that's been his whole identity since beating and taking down the Bloodline and beating Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what he is without the title. Now, on to who I think is going to win. I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. They have designed this winding, twisting path to get back to Cody Rhodes because they know that when they were in Chicago, back when Sammy was still champion, they know that it probably would have bombed hard if you had had Cody Rhodes win the WWE Championship from Sami Zayn in Chicago. When that crowd, they were chanting CM Punk half the whole night. That's not who they wanted. That's not who they wanted to end the show with. They sent that Chicago crowd home happy, knowing that their hometown hero, the Second City Saint himself, the self-proclaimed best in the world, CM Punk, went home as the new WWE champion. No matter what anybody else says, that Chicago crowd who was in attendance went home happy because it was CM Punk walking out with the title. Yeah. So that's why I believe they did this whole thing, and to get us to this point. Now we're in Minnesota. It really doesn't matter. I don't think. You know, that crowd is going to be indifferent. They're going to boo who they want to boo. They're going to cheer who they want to cheer. So I'm going with Cody Rhodes. I really do think they just love Cody. That's also kind of an issue on SmackDown and with the company right now. But I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes. I really do.
I mean, I'm kind of at the 50-50 right now with who's going to win this match. Part of me feels like it's going to be CM Punk to see what we can get from Cody. Like you said, he's been around the WWE Championship ever since he's been back in WWE. Yes, his first 3 months back, he did WrestleMania. He made it through the summer, got to Hell in a Cell, or didn't even make it through the summer. He got hurt at Hell in a Cell, which was before the summertime. And he was out for a couple months, came back at the Rumble, won the Rumble. Off to WrestleMania he goes, wins the championship. The whole year he didn't have the champion, or lost in the championship match. Went the whole year chasing the championship, won the championship, been around the title ever since. He's been around the title ever since he came back from that injury. Because he won the Rumble when he came back, lost at WrestleMania, was chasing the title the whole time until WrestleMania 40, won the title, and then he's been around that championship ever since. I'm a huge Cody fan. I love when Cody wins the title. But I will also say this. There's even times where I'm like, okay, I want to see what Cody Rhodes can be without the championship. He's the QB1. Triple H has gone on record already on saying, hey, he's our QB1. He's our face of the company, yada, yada, yada. He doesn't necessarily need the championship to do that. So how about we put it on somebody that could give other stars opportunities? Sami Zayn for 11 days, that was awesome. It was almost like a test run because, and we're going to talk about the Sunday match. The first match we're going to talk about on Sunday is that number one contendership match between Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. But that's what I mean. Finn Balor and Sami Zayn are in a number one contender match on Sunday. Finn Balor hasn't had a title shot since early in Roman's big reign. Sami finally wins after 10 years. So two new guys, in a sense, in the title picture. And I think it would benefit them more on facing somebody like CM Punk and putting Cody Rhodes on a path to where he's not in a championship picture. Get people excited for Cody to be in a championship picture again, is what I'm pretty much getting to. Because right now, everybody is expecting Cody to walk out on Saturday with the championship. Now, do I think CM Punk's going to win? No, I think it's going back on Cody, and that's going to be it. It's like you called it, the Cody Rhodes reset. That's what it is. But if they go CM Punk, I'll be excited. I'll be excited if Cody wins because I'm a Cody fan, but I will be excited for CM Punk to win that match, for him to continue that reign and see what other competitors go after CM Punk. My top 3 guesses to go after him, Gunther, Sami Zayn, and I can see them. I would love to see them keep Finn Balor in that picture because Finn Balor deserves to be in that picture. Those are the 3 that I think should be the next 3 competitors against CM Punk. And if you take it off CM Punk, whether it's Gunther, whether it's Sami Zayn, I still want to see Finn Balor in that picture so he is challenging for that championship as well. And at some point, putting it on him because he deserves it. So, but I think Cody walks out as well. I kind of want to say I'd be shocked if I seen CM Punk walk out on Saturday as champion because of the expectancy of Cody Rhodes. But, yeah, number 1 contendership match on Sunday. Finn Balor, Sami Zayn for that WWE Championship. Winner gets a shot. Cam, what are you thinking? Who wins this match and your thoughts on it?
Well, like I said, this is a great, perfect transition from the match we just talked about into this match. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Sami Zayn and him not getting the proper reign that I think he deserved. I can agree to that. I definitely can agree to that. Do I think he's going anywhere from where he's at right now or just being around the world title? No, I not for a while at least. Do I think he's going to win back? I could honestly see him getting back the WWE Championship. It's just a matter of when. Because I really don't think, unless we have another 4-way or some elimination 6-way match, I don't see in a one-on-one scenario him beating Cody Rhodes again. I just don't see that happen. Again, that just goes back to their love and protection over Cody Rhodes. I don't see that happening again. So it would have to be one of those scenarios, one of those multi-man scenarios where he gets some roll-up shock victory ending and we close out the show that way. So I think honestly he should be the one to win this match. I'm shocked they put Finn Balor in this match when they had that whole number 1 contenders match or whatever. Finn Balor was the last person on my mind. I really didn't think they put him in this match. I really didn't. I'm with you though. I honestly do think that Finn Balor should be a guy considered to be, in the title picture, or like I said, at least in talks. Even if he's not in the plans to ever win the WWE Championship, which I don't really see it as it stands right now. I wouldn't mind seeing a feud with 2 guys that were in the championship scene with like maybe him and Gunther. Because again, Gunther has to transition to something after Nick Aldis. Because I really don't see them stretching that out for multiple matches. I think it's a one and done. So I could see a Gunther and Finn Balor. And again, WWE Championship implications down the line. So I got to go with Sami Zayn here, though. I think it's just the right choice. Sami at least deserves a rematch. I think a proper rematch. And like I said, they need to be thinking about potentially giving the championship back to him at some point. You know what I mean? Because I think he deserves a longer run than what he got.
I mean, there's so much potential if the title will go back on Sami Zayn at some point. Again, new challengers, new people in that picture. And they got to start thinking about that because someday Cody Rhodes isn't going to be around. Someday Roman Reigns ain't going to be around. CM Punk is more towards the end of the beginning.
Yes.
Seth Rollins, all that. So you got to start thinking about the guys that are going to be around for the next 10 years. Who's going to be in your main event scene? Stop snubbing people the wrong way. LA Knight, Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, former world champion. Start getting them back or on that path to being in a world title picture. Because those are the guys that are going to lead the way for you in the next 10 years. And what better time to do it than now? Obafemi. Do I think realistically Obafemi is at a point to be a world champion at this moment? No. Is he ready? Possibly. But just like Gunther, if you do it too soon, then it just gets old fast. And look what the position they put Gunther in. When he was the Intercontinental Champion, that was like a TV championship. He was defending that thing left and right, had a hell of a run. When he became world champion, what memory do you have really of him being world champion? Because they kind of did it a little soon. They could have made more memories if they would have waited, and they could have done more long-term planning for his world title reign, opposed to, oh, he's just holding it until we get to this point and then he's going to lose it. And he's what, a 3-time world champion already?
Yeah.
That's not good. I get it that there's those records of who won the most. John Cena right now is at what, 17? Randy Orton's creeping up on that. But look how long it took Randy Orton to get to where he's at with the world championship. You know.
A while, yeah.
Record books matter, but at the same time, they don't, because you, at the end of the day, you want to entertain your viewers. And if you're not entertaining us, then we lose interest. We lose interest. We don't watch. We don't watch. We don't talk. We don't talk. Then what?
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I would ever stop watching wrestling nor even stop talking about it. But I'm just saying, that's the chain that happens. I've met so many people that, oh, I stopped watching around this time because it got this way and I didn't like it and blah, 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 blah. And then you try convincing them, oh, it's getting better in some way, shape, or form. How? That's where the hard part of explaining gets is, how is it getting better? Well, they're kind of doing the same thing that you stopped. It's almost the same thing they were doing 10 years ago when you stopped watching, but there's new people. I shouldn't have to say that anymore. I should be able to say, oh, this person, you've never seen them live, watch it. They are great. They're world champion right now. They're doing phenomenal things with that championship. They're having great matches. Like, that's the stuff I should be saying to somebody. Not, oh, they're doing the same shit you were doing 10 years ago, just with different people. So we'll see what happens. Who comes number one contender first? I mean, I'm kind of pulling for Finn Balor on this one. I'm more on the Finn Balor side on this one. Fair enough. I am. I want to see Finn Balor get back into that picture, and I would love to see Finn Balor become a world champion again. I think he deserves that opportunity to have a run with it, because he wins the inaugural Universal Championship, hands it over the next night because he got injured. And crazy enough, it happened at SummerSlam. 10 years ago.
Oh, this is a full circle moment. Maybe that's a part of the reason why they put him in this match.
I don't know.
Kind of like an anniversary kind of thing. I don't know.
Could be, but it happened 10 years ago at this event. So I wouldn't mind seeing Finn Balor get that first step by winning against Sammy, getting a shot at the title, and winning it. Would love it. And we can get a properly good story between him and CM Punk, opposed to having the Judgment Day connected to it.
Yeah.
Because when CM Punk was world champion, they had that storyline earlier in 2026 that kind of didn't fend off too well. So, yeah, we'll have to see. Let's get this one out of the way, because I'll be honest, even though I like this guy, not too much looking forward to the match. And watch this match be a fucking banger too. Danhausen has stolen up to $100,000 from the Judgment Day, and they won it back. And in order to do that, Dominic Mysterio has to beat Danhausen. Cam, your thoughts on Danhausen and Dom Mysterio? Who's walking away with the $100,000?
Like, bro. I feel like I'm watching AEW at this point. I thought we were done with these money matches. I couldn't stand with the other company. Like, why? What's the point? Listen, I have to sit here and absorb this product every single Monday night, and I'm like, do I honestly care who wins this? No, I really don't. What happens? Yo, I have to ask this question. What happens if this ends in a DQ? Then what?
You split the money 50-50 and walk your separate ways.
Yeah, like, yes, this is wild. I've said this before. I mean, I said this last week.
You got to think, if Danhausen would walk away with even $50,000, he'd be happy at human monies.
Sure. I think I said this last week, but This has gone on too long. I don't know where this started, but it's gone on too long. We've wasted, I think, 2 different Saturday night main events, including the Knicks thing that I'm gonna be honest with you. After that last Saturday night's main event, I felt nauseous after watching that.
It started when Liv Morgan went to ask Danhausen for help with the curse thing, and he told her it was $40,000 of human monies to help, and she had to get it to him before some match started, and she apparently got it, but it didn't work. That's where this all started. Yeah, I mean,
you know more than I do.
Yeah,
and again, we've said that before too. Is if I have to ask where this started, that's a problem. Either I'm not paying attention or it's just not gripping me. And I think it's the latter. I think it's just not gripping me.
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
I'm going to say Danhausen. I don't think Dominic really loses anything with this. Here lately, I think he is just the enhancement guy. Really. The last thing he really has of importance is the AAA Mega Championship. And I'm still looking at my calendar and looking at my watch as to when him and El Grande in AAA are going to have that match, because El Grande, to me, is the odds-on favorite to win that championship from Dominic. It makes too much sense. The guy's over like Rover in that company. It's crazy. So
Isn't Triple Mania coming up soon? Triple Mania is supposed to be coming up.
They have some event coming up. I don't know if it's called Triple Mania.
Where it's like 2 days, but it's on like a Friday and a Sunday or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So they have a big event coming up. I'd be shocked if that's not the main event, because I think that's like I said, it's just a no-brainer. But no, I'm taking Danhausen in this match. Again, he's just on fire right now. Like I said, people love him. People they love the goofy character. They love the character that they can just laugh at and whatnot have you. So again, he's just on a roll right now. So you just got to keep that rolling until we get to something more important, I guess. So Danhausen for the win.
It's Triple Mania 34 happening on September 11th and Friday, September 11th and Sunday, September 13th.
There you go.
Triple Mania. Yep. And then Worlds Collide is on September 26th with AAA and NXT.
Fun fact, I learned about this as well. I guess CM Punk is planning on making an appearance for AAA. And I heard he's supposed to be bringing back the Straight Edge Society mask.
Oh, shit.
AAA. Yeah. Yeah.
What if CM Punk went and won the AAA championship?
That'd be wild. Oh my God. Twitter will have a meltdown, yo.
Like, I could just see the IWC just fucking blowing up. Like, oh, now AAA has to bring in CM Punk because it's, yada, yada, yada.
They would have a conniption. That'd be wild.
Dude, the fucking internet would blow up. It'd be insane. I just see it now, just all the complaints. Why do we have to have him come in and ruin this? Like, what do you mean ruin it? Like, they bring people in to help. Yeah. Obviously, AAA, something's going wrong to where they need to bring him in. I mean, The Undertaker's running AAA. So
I think he's doing a fantastic job, honestly.
I heard he was doing a great job, and I'm not going to doubt that because it's the fucking Undertaker. Like, it's Mark Calloway. He's been in this business for damn near almost 40 years. Like, how can you question somebody who's been in this business for 40 years and has had 25 years of in-ring experience?
Yeah.
That's just like Rey Mysterio. Like, Rey Mysterio is the general manager down there. So if Rey Mysterio, who's been in this business for damn near 30 years, who has over 25 years of in-ring experience, is calling shots down there too, how can you question that? And both those guys combined have, I think, 12 world championships under their belt or something?
Nuts.
Or 10, because Ray has, 3 world championships, and The Undertaker had 7, so 10. 10 world championships. Yeah. How can you question that? They know what they're fucking doing. Just like Shawn Michaels knows what he's doing in NXT. Just like Triple H, kind of knows what he's doing up on the main roster. I'm sorry, Trip. I'm sorry.
It started off good, and now
to be fair though, is if we knew Triple H was calling the shots only, then you can kind of throw it all on him. But you know damn well TKO has their fucking hands on stuff, and ESPN.
I mean, they said it. They said they
ESPN and
have
all
their
the
hands all
execs.
over creative.
Yeah. So realistically, we can't throw it all on Triple H. I mean, I'm sure if he was running the show solo by himself, then this product would be fucking on fire right now.
I would hope so.
Damn near hard to put out on fire, I think. I think so. Because Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, they're all doing this stuff for AAA and NXT and stuff, and that they're killing it.
Yeah.
You're telling me Triple H, who has almost and pretty much the same amount of experience as them, if he was calling the full shots, I think this product would be slightly better. So, but he's not. So I'll say 50% of it's Triple H, and the other half is TKO and ESPN and all the execs. Which sucks. But I got to go Danhausen on this one as well. I do. The other point is Danhausen initially asked for $40,000, and that's all they asked for back. How it got to $100,000, I don't know. So I think if it did end in a DQ, they'd both walk away with $50,000. I think they can call it a day and be happy. I'd like to think I would. I'd be happy with it.
I mean, it's still $50,000.
It's $50,000. I mean, put a down payment on a house, an apartment, a new car.
There you go.
Shit. Buy a car straight out.
Yeah.
Don't have to worry about payments. Yeah. And believe me, brother, if you've seen my car, you'd be like, yeah, Mike, you do need a new car. I mean, I think it's a piece of shit. My car is a piece of shit. So, interim WWE Women's Championship is on the line in a 5-way ladder match. As we know, Rhea Ripley out with an injury right now. Title became vacant. And this is the first time I believe WWE is ever doing the interim championship thing. I don't think they've ever done the interim championship thing. I don't think they ever have.
No, that was AEW. No.
Well, I mean, WWE, I think they did. You know what? They did. Because when CM Punk won the championship at Money in the Bank and left.
Oh, yeah, they did. I forgot about that.
They did. They kind of did, but they didn't call it that.
They didn't call it that.
So this is the first time they're actually
left, and then came back with. That's when he first came back with Cult of Personality. Yep.
Yeah. So this is the first time they're actually using the word interim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, Julia, Charlotte Flair, and Lash Legend. 5-way ladder match for the WWE Women's Championship. Cam, your thoughts on this, and who do you think's walking out?
Again, this match wouldn't even be a thing if Rhea was not still hurt. If you ask me, I guess I like Rhea Ripley. I do. But I think this is a case of Triple H playing favorites. I think if Rhea was not able to compete, she should have just been able to just relinquish the championship. And they could still do this 5-way ladder match for the vacant WWE Women's Championship. And then we don't have to go through this interim stuff. So I'm one of those people that is not really a big fan of this interim championship nonsense necessarily. I think it will make for interesting television when Rhea Ripley is back and is healthy and is cleared to compete, because then you have her as the actual champion and you have the interim champion, and then of course you'll have the match to crown the champion essentially. So that does make for an interesting dynamic. As to who's going to win this match, my prediction, this sounds crazy, but I honestly would like to see Chelsea Green win this. I mean, dude, there's been so much trash talk on her with, the WWE Unreal thing. I think last season they had where they didn't view her as a top star and all this other stuff like that, which I thought was absolutely nonsense. She's like a female Miz. She's like a female Baron Corbin, where she is willing to do whatever they throw on her, and she's willing to make it work. So whether she's like, the wrestling's Karen, or I guess you could throw her in some freaking bingo hall and she's rich Chelsea Green, she's going to make it work. I guarantee it, because she's that good. So this to me would also fit her character, because then she could just walk around and be like, nah, this isn't the interim championship. This is the real championship. Like it's going to fit her character. So, and again, have we ever seen Chelsea Green versus Rhea Ripley? I don't think we have. So I think that would also make it for an interesting dynamic when Rhea Ripley is back and cleared and healthy, ready to compete. Then you have the champion versus champion for to crown who is the odds-on champion of that brand. So I honestly would like to see Chelsea Green win this match. I just think it would just be interesting and something new, something we haven't seen yet from out of Chelsea Green.
So Rhea Ripley, I was looking up her injury, meniscus tear. It seems like it's not the major version of it because they're obviously, either keeping the championship on her and we're going to have a set championship match at some point when she comes back, or she's completely not. Now, the interim role is in there for them to fill in as a champion. So that means she hasn't been stripped of the title. She has the championship. It's just this person is going to be filling in as champion. And then when she comes back, an actual championship match will be made. May 31st is when Rhea Ripley got hurt. July 31st will be the 4-week mark, and that's the shortest period of time for a small-term meniscus tear injury. So I'm going to say this. It would not surprise me if Rhea Ripley made a return at SummerSlam as an appearance. No physicality, but it wouldn't surprise me if Rhea Ripley made a return. I'd be all for Chelsea Green winning the world title. I think she's done phenomenal work ever since being in WWE. Like you said, she does everything she's asked. She doesn't say no. And she was able to build a new house down in Florida because of so. Yes, I watched the fucking Netflix doc thing. You know me, Cam. I like documentaries. I can't say no. Even though I hate the fact that they pull the curtain back so damn much, I still have to watch it. But part of me feels like if they want a guaranteed go-to championship match to set a tone, I think they should go Charlotte Flair and we get Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. Because we know they would put on a banger.
Oh,
I know that's like the easy cop-out answer to say, but a returning Rhea Ripley to take on a Charlotte Flair would be like, okay, at least it'd be money. But at the same time, too, is for your next PLE, if that's where you're going to have the match, at least you already have one match in the books set to go, and you don't have to do a quick build for it because the story's already there.
Yeah.
Because who else does Rhea Ripley realistically have a story with in this match? Nobody. We haven't seen her feud with Lash Legend except for the tag team titles, I believe. She hasn't feuded with Julia. Jade, she had her match with at WrestleMania. So maybe Jade be another one because the matches they put on, the two that they had, they were good. They were good matches. And Tiffany Stratton. No story there. So if you want a quick, stick in a slot at a PLE coming up and you don't want to have to try and force a build of a storyline, have Charlotte win, especially if you know Rhea's coming back. Now that I said that, let's say Rhea Ripley's not coming back. Yes, Charlotte would be the guarantee because she's, money, world champion, whatever, former champion. Tiffany Stratton, obviously, former champion. Jade Cargill, former champion. I would go a new route. I would test new waters. I would go Julia or Chelsea Green. Lash Legend, I don't think is ready for it yet. I don't. Has she been doing some good things as in specialty matches? Yes, like the Royal Rumble, she was impressive. But Lash Legend hasn't fully impressed me personally as a fan yet. She's got the size and the athleticism to be impressive, but you can kind of tell I don't think she's ready for that level yet. This is a good spot for her, but I would go Julia or Chelsea Green. Test some new waters with the championship. I'm leaning more towards Chelsea Green as well. I'd give her a shot. And you know how much US Bank Stadium would fucking explode if Chelsea Green won that championship?
I would think so.
Dude, that place would go nuts. It would go nuts on Sunday, especially if you open the night up with that match. Oh, man. That would set the tone for the night.
I think so.
Especially if you have Chelsea Green climb that ladder. Everybody, just imagine that. Everybody's down. And how you could do it, too, is have one person on the outside in one corner, another one in the other corner, the other two on the bottom corners outside, and Chelsea in the ring all alone with a ladder. That's it. Just have her climb up, grab that belt, win that match. and the crowd would be up. But once she notices everybody's out and she looks up and realizes, that crowd would start going fucking berserk.
I can see it.
Then she climbs that ladder and just grabs that belt, and boom, a roar in US Bank Stadium. You'd be able to, if you were sitting in Detroit, Michigan, outside of Ford Field, you'd be able to hear the crowd from there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's how loud that place would get. Be nuts. And I would definitely go Chelsea Green. So Charlotte Flair, if the plans of Rhea Ripley coming back, easy slip in for your next PLE, easy story to build on. But if Rhea's not coming back, go Chelsea Green. Try some new waters. Give somebody else a chance and see where you can go from it. I think it would be successful with Chelsea Green.
I think so too.
And how crazy would it be if Chelsea Green starts picking up interest for that championship? Like, she becomes the one that really starts getting people's interest in that championship. How nuts would that be? Oh,
she definitely could do it.
Without a freaking doubt.
I don't
doubt Without a doubt. Without a doubt, she can do it. So, another championship on the line, United States title. Trick Williams, who won it back at WrestleMania, is taking on the returning Baron Corbin, the Nomad. Baron Corbin calling himself the Nomad now. Getting a title shot after coming back 2-3 weeks ago. So, and he claimed, Cam, that Trick Williams is on the list of a long list of people that are going to feel the wrath, basically, of this Nomad. So, your thoughts on Trick Williams and Baron Corbin at SummerSlam? What do you got on this one?
Interesting dynamic here between Trick Williams and Baron Corbin. Very excited for Baron Corbin to come back. I think he has a very high ceiling. If they actually do something with him and keep him on the right path, enough of these like goofy, carny gimmicks that he was doing before he left the company. I think he's much more than that. I think he's above that. He went out to MLW and absolutely killed it. I mean, I think he set the tag team world on fire. Yeah, I mean, winning the tag team championships with Dominik Dijakovic down there in MLW. So yeah, I think his stock is definitely higher than what it was when he was first in this company. But the guy's a workhorse. I think I've said that before too. He's willing to do, get over whatever they throw at him. So I'm glad to see him come back in the door. I honestly would not mind him winning this championship because I think he can do something with that title. And I think it'd be just a fresh start and a second chance for him within this company. But prediction-wise, I really don't think Trick Williams is dropping the title just yet. He's one of the hottest acts right now on SmackDown in that mid-card scene. So I got to go with Trick Williams retaining the United States Championship.
Bro, I just got curious on something, right? I was like, I went on WWE Shop because I was like, I know Trick Williams just got that custom championship, and I was kind of curious if WWE's selling it. They're fucking selling it.
No, I'm not surprised.
It's a replica.
I saw that coming. The second I saw it.
I mean, I'm not shocked by it. It's just like, okay. Like, I get it. We did it when
it looked weird, but
the fur throws me off, man.
That looks weird, but works for Trick Williams. But to sell it as a belt, and it's just like,
yeah, like if Baron Corbin's walking out of SummerSlam with the United States title, we better go back to the regular. He better not have the fur championship. That is Trick Williams's belt. Like, it fits for Trick, but that better not be the long-term United States title. They better do exactly what they did with Bryan Danielson's belt when he lost it to Kofi. I mean, I thought they went far with the hemp championship. Now fucking fur? Like, what's next?
Cardboard?
Cardboard? Yeah. Like, fuck, man. Shoelaces? Maybe? I mean, nobody does a shoelace gimmick. So I don't think we'd have to go that far. But
somebody was like a sneakerhead gimmick or something like that.
Yeah.
Like sneakers. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. I mean, we got scissors made a couple of years ago. So,
yeah, that is true.
You know, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, but I can see Baron Corbin winning this championship too. It'd be a great upstart for him, a great way to kind of help him catch a little more fire coming in as this Nomad character. Trick Williams, we know, is a guaranteed moneymaker character. Trick Williams is phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, that guy is on a level to where you can put him anywhere and it works. It does. Trick Williams is a phenomenal character. And this doesn't have to be the only time he goes after the United States Championship. Hell, he can go after the Intercontinental Championship. And one day, he's another one that I could see being in that realm of the World Championship in the next 10 years. He's that type of character. So Trick Williams, his ceiling is limitless. So him losing the United States title would not hurt him at all at SummerSlam. He's had it since WrestleMania. We're kind of at that point where, it's SummerSlam and whoever wins championships at SummerSlam, some of them lose the belt at SummerSlam. Or when you win the championship at WrestleMania, sometimes you lose it at SummerSlam. And that's usually for almost like first-time champions. So him losing it at SummerSlam, no, it wouldn't hurt him at all. He can go after it again, and he can win it again. Trick Williams is that type of guy. I wouldn't mind seeing Baron Corbin walk out as champion. And this could potentially be a show stealer, but there is another match that I think will guaranteedly be a show stealer on Sunday, and that is the Intercontinental Championship match between Penta and Chad Gable. This match has been a long time coming, and now we are finally getting it on the second biggest stage of the year for WWE at SummerSlam. Penta defending the Intercontinental title against Chad Gable. Cam, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think this potentially could be the show stealer for night 2. I think the obvious choice here is Chad Gable. Again, singing his praises for a while now, but especially after the work that he did getting over the El Grande thing, which, again, started off as a joke. I don't even know if they really had long-term plans with that when they first started. Yeah. I really don't think they did. But it got over. And like I said, AAA absolutely loved it. And like I said, the mask versus mask, I know we keep bringing that up, but you have to, because it's potentially one of their best matches of the year. It was fantastic. And just the ending to that. And, to see him in that chapter as El Grande going back into being himself, which is Chad Gable, I think was beautiful. I think it was a beautiful transition. Now it's about what they do with him next, because obviously they have a guy in there that, again, is a Swiss Army knife. He could do whatever. He could be a heel, he could be a babyface, he could be loved, he could be hated, he could be, again, out there kissing babies and shaking hands or whatever, or absolutely be the most despicable heel in the company. Like, he can do it all. But bottom line is the guy's a storyteller, number one. And they definitely need to do something with him, because overall, I think wherever you put him, he's going to enhance that scene. He's going to enhance that spot. So I truly do believe just the caliber of wrestler now that Chad Gable is, and probably always has been within this company, I think he's going to get the best out of Penta. I think you're going to see the best version of Penta in this match that we have seen from him thus far. I think this match is going to be fantastic. I have a lot of high hopes from this match. To me, it's a no-brainer. I think Chad Gable should be the one to beat Penta. Penta has had a great Intercontinental Championship run up to this point, but Chad Gable is just long overdue. He's like Sammy with the WWE Championship. Like, it's just long overdue. And they could do the same thing they did for Penta with Chad Gable. So it is time to stop missing the boat with this guy. He's an incredible talent. It is time to finally put him on the right path and the right direction. So I got to go with Chad Gable.
Yeah, I mean, I said this a week or two ago. It was last week, that if you have Chad Gable win the Intercontinental title, it's not going to hurt Penta. Penta is too over right now. Penta can also elevate to the world title scene because of how popular he is. I mean, everybody loves the guy. And he's done phenomenal things with the Intercontinental Championship. He has. He's done great things for the Intercontinental Championship with the run that he's been having. But with how quick and popular he became, let's graduate him. Pass that Intercontinental title on to a guy that deserves it in Chad Gable. And Penta, like you said, Penta against Roman Reigns? Penta against Seth Rollins? Penta against whoever the world champion is? It's money. And Penta's a former world champion himself, so it fits. What more can Penta do with the Intercontinental title? What more? What more does he have to do with the Intercontinental Championship? Absolutely nothing. And him, just like Cody Rhodes, especially on an international level, is a face of this company. He truly is. He's a face of this company. So I'm with you. Chad Gable should win this Intercontinental title on Saturday. And this match, I think, will be the show stealer of Sunday, the show stealer possibly of the weekend. Because this is going to be a great match. And it's in a very good spot with being on night number 2 opposed to night number 1. I think if they would have put it on night number 1, I think they would have wasted putting it on night number 1. I think it is perfect being on night number 2. It is. So, main event, Sunday, SummerSlam World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns, the OTC, defending against Seth Rollins. A lot of history between these two guys. I mean, this is dating back to well over 13 years ago, the start of the Shield. Seth Rollins breaking the Shield up. Hell, we know the story. Let's just ring the bell on Sunday. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship, main event of SummerSlam. Cam, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, like I said, a lot of history here, as you said, with the Shield and everything like that. These two guys have been through a couple of different transitions in terms of characters, namely Seth Rollins. So yeah, it's just a lot of history here. But I think this is the biggest potential match for them and for the World Championship, just because of where they're at right now in their careers. Seth had said it best that this potentially could be their last time. Now, I kind of rolled my eyes with that because I feel like WWE kind of says that quite a bit with a few different feuds. Oh, this will be our last time, or this will be this, or this will be that. And then a year later, 6 months later, they go back to it. So, but everything they've done up to this point with the video packages and showing their beginnings and things like that really does feel like this is the final chapter. So if this is really it, I really don't want to see this again in 2026 or beyond. This has to really be their final match in its entirety, in the remainder of their careers in WWE. After this is over, you got to get these two as far apart as humanly possible. I don't know if that includes having Seth go to SmackDown just to ensure they don't cross paths again. If that's what it includes, do it. Because again, I think that they're done after this. There's nothing else we need to see from these two. The history is there. I think they've built enough history. We don't need to see these two again after this. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. Obviously, I think that's just the no-brainer. That's just the obvious choice. I don't see Roman losing the championship, nor do I think he should lose the title until we are potentially staring down the barrel of him versus Oba Femi, potentially on the stage of like a WrestleMania, maybe a Royal Rumble, whenever Oba chooses to invoke his title match from winning King of the Ring. I think this is going to be a great match. Once again, just like with Cody and Punk, a lot of history here. They know each other. They broke into WWE together, broke into NXT together. So just with that history and that relationship between these two, I really don't think they're going to produce something that is going to leave you feeling empty. You are going to be properly fed with this match, and I think they're going to produce a banger for night 2 main event. But I got to go Roman Reigns. I just don't see him losing the championship until we get him and Oba.
So I have a couple theories. Okay, now hear me out on this, please. If CM Punk loses on Saturday, I think Roman loses on Sunday. Reason being is because we're kind of around the time where Roman Reigns would take a little bit of a break. It's after a big PLE. And we know Roman, he kind of goes on his little hiatuses once in a while. When you look at the state of the bloodline, Jey Uso has built himself up to being in the main event scene. He's done that over the course of the past 2 years or so. Okay, so along with Jacob Fatu, Jacob has kind of built himself up to that level in a sense. Jimmy, not so much. And if Solo ends up joining come Saturday, Sunday, Solo, not so much. If CM Punk loses on Saturday, I think Roman loses on Sunday. Because CM Punk is a Raw guy. He won the WWE Championship, which is a SmackDown thing. Cody wins the belt back. CM Punk goes back to Raw. Seth Rollins wins the world title. And we revisit CM Punk and Seth Rollins in the world title scene. Roman Reigns goes away for a little bit until maybe War Games, and Jey Uso takes the reins of the bloodline while Roman's away. It would give a little bit of a different aspect for the bloodline, a different leader in a sense, and Jey has always fought for that head of the table thing. He would be like the interim head of the table because he is a main event Jey Uso. So part of me feels like if Cody wins, Seth is winning on Sunday. But at the same time, as much as I feel like they're going to somewhat mirror Roman Reigns' first run, I don't think they're going to have Roman hold the belt 3 years, 4 years, anything like that. I could see them going the minimum of a year with him being the champion. I could. But that's if he's going to run that long. Even when he was the champion the first time, he wasn't around all the time. He wasn't. He was only around when he had to defend the belt. So, but I don't think they want to put themselves in a position to where one of the world titles is off screen. I think they want to make sure that both world titles are on screen. So part of me feels like if CM Punk loses, Seth is winning on Sunday. But I got to go Roman Reigns as well. I do. I'm going to go Roman as well just to play it safe. But part of me feels like Seth might walk out of WrestleMania. And or not WrestleMania, out of SummerSlam as world champion. So, and continue the whole thing of Roman never beating Seth. Because Roman's never beat Seth. And that was the main focus of this match happening. And it gives us the guarantee that they might go back to it one more time. But like you said, they've been giving us those video packages of this might be a possibility because they're showing us all this stuff. So this is a huge toss-up. This is probably the toss-up match of the weekend, a 50-50 on who's going to win this match. But I have more leaning towards Roman to continue the reign. So, but that's my theory for the World Heavyweight Championship. And that's it for SummerSlam. SummerSlam Talk. SummerSlam happening August 1st and 2nd. Saturday and Sunday out in Minneapolis, Minnesota, US Bank Stadium. Cam, real quick, dude, I was looking at the On This Day stuff today, and there's some interesting ones. You think we can run through it real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let's run through it. I just got to set the... I'm going to run that one. So, all right, On This Day, Cam, there's actually 3 of them real quick. Back in 1998, WWE taped their very first episode of Sunday Night Heat at the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California. Nice. In the year 2000, one of pro wrestling's industry pioneers, play-by-play announcer Gordon Solie passed away at the age of 71. I don't know if you've ever heard Gordon Solie.
I have not, but rest in peace.
If you ever get a chance, look up some old matches that Gordon Solie announced. Fucking awesome. Awesome. Now, mind you, you got to kind of put your mindset of like kind of acting like you lived back in that time in 71, like in the back in like the 70s, because I'll say this, it's different announcing than what we get today. It is. It's different, but it was really good. He was really, really good. One of the best. So, in 2002, low key, he became the first ever Ring of Honor champion. He won the belt in a fatal 4-way match, 60-minute Iron Man match against Doug Williams, Spanky, and Christopher Daniels. Nice. So low key, the first Ring of Honor champion. And then the last one, WWE Vengeance took place back in 2003 at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. And in the main event, Kurt Angle won the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar and The Big Show.
Nice.
So imagine winning the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar and The Big Show.
Wild. That's wild.
That's fucking impressive. Like, you just beat Brock Lesnar and The Big Show for the WWE Championship. But Cam, it's about that time. Let's get the hell out of here. Cam, your socials are going to be on the bottom. make sure you're heading over to Cam's social medias right after the show and clicking that follow button, especially Cam's Wrestling Corner. Great videos over there. Best on the internet. I'm saying that. I'm not just saying that because this man is sitting digitally next to me. Fucking amazing takes on pro wrestling. Go check it out. Hit that follow button, Cam. What do you got?
Yeah, keep up with me on mainly on Cam's Wrestling Corner, predictions and reviews and things like that, and of course my wrestling opinion over on there. I'm most active on there, and then of course keep with me every single Wednesday night with this gentleman sitting next to me, and of course the addition of Phil Kahn, talking about the fallout of AEW Redemption this coming Wednesday. So definitely join us for that. I know. You don't got to say it. I know, but still, it's still the fallout for Redemption. So
it is.
And then of course we'll be back for what would be the fallout for SummerSlam next Monday. So stay tuned for that as well for another edition of the Table Spot, and appreciate all you guys coming by and checking out the stream tonight.
Fallout shows coming up, Redemption on Wednesday, and then SummerSlam next week. Hell yeah, make sure you're following everything that Cam is doing on social media, not only on his personal, but here on the shows, on the Table Spot, and on the Boom as well. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube, Metal Mike 714. I don't do a lot on my personal social media. I'll just say that right now. I do everything on the shows here. Every Monday night here on the Table Spot, every Wednesday night over on the Boom, and over on the Huddle Hub podcast every Tuesday and Sunday. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and John will be live giving you another preview of two other conferences in college football. We are doing the Mountain West and MAC Conference this Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be live over on Twitch, twitch.tv/The Huddle Podcast, youtube.com/@The-Huddle-Pod. You can also follow us on TikTok and on Instagram at The Huddle Pod as well. And then I'll be live on Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, to give you all the news. And I have a fun segment put together for Sunday. I'm going to announce it on Tuesday because it's not fully together yet. It's more of a planned segment. And I was going to do my running back rankings on Sunday morning, but then it switched to me doing my preseason predictions because the running back rankings it didn't work. Like, I had it set, and then I was like, this ain't going to fucking go well. It wasn't going to go well at all. So I made a pivot like 24 hours before I went live. So, yeah. So make sure you're joining us all across here on the Table Spot, the Boom, and on the Huddle Hub podcast. As I always say after every show, be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. We hope to see you guys on Wednesday on the Boom. Until then, deuces, everybody.